Welcome to GameBreakers. My name is Thomas. I am here with Allison, Diamond, and David, and we are continuing A Bard's Tale. This is our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition game. When last we left our intrepid heroes, you had just assaulted a fresh tunnel in a Feywild mine that was dug by a gargantuan boulette, and at the end of which contained a portal to something only one of you really knows how awful it could have been. Upon defeating all of the terrible things, the Star Spawn and Fomorian giants, you encountered a portal from which more Star Spawn were burrowing out of the dead boulette and general that you had slain, the general of the Fomorian forces. And then things started to fall apart, if I remember correctly. By things, I mean your bard. Also, your paladin made a bad choice and decided to charge in and try to fix the problem with the shovel, leading to his near extinction. Quick thinking on the part of ClickClack grappled him in with a grapple arrow, and at which point Struana just resorted to reptile brain fire and just started burning. Joined quickly by ClickClack, and that was where we cut. As you know, the scent of burnt flesh just became the smell of burning, and pretty soon, what's in front of you is definitely gone. At least what you can barely see of the glass-surfaced crater left by your hot heat in every form. What you can see of it, that is to say, through the smoke. There's an awful lot of smoke, and you're in a tunnel. And every last one of you has lived underground before, and you know that this is not a well-ventilated tunnel that's now filled with smoke. So as you are given a moment to process everything that just happened, your eyes and nose and throat begin to burn. What do you guys do?
Goggles, breathing mask, and a crab that can hold her breath for a really long time.
Okay. You can hold your breath for up to your Constitution modifier, if I remember correctly. And she's got a solid Constitution.
We have to. We just hacking, coughing. We have to take it out of here. Trying not to breathe deeply. Okay.
I will need a Constitution save from everyone. Or, well, unless you're holding your breath, and then your timer starts. Or, ClickClack, you're going to be, how much air do you have in there?
It's been a while, I forget how much you said was in there.
I feel like you had at least a half hour or an hour or something like that. Like it was.
I had a chance to refill it during our last downtime.
Yeah. So at least a half hour. We'll call it that. And then maybe we'll start rolling dice.
My save's a 14.
Okay. You managed to get cloth over your tenderest bits in time to avoid the worst of it. Stan, what's your tactic?
I'm making the con save. 21.
Okay. 20. And don't forget, everybody is currently within 10 feet of Stan, and so you get bonuses on this save if you have to make it.
It's true.
Lovelace is holding her breath. Do you still want to roll from her?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Incidentally, Stan being within 10 feet of everybody now, and the focus finally not being on burning everything, you guys have a moment to take a look at Stan, and he is not quite the same. Stan has aged visibly.
Stan, as things, because, I don't know. It was pretty crazy in there. He looks at Struana. Are you okay?
We need to get out of here.
You help?
Just gonna. We need to get out of here. We need
We're leaving. We're leaving. And we're moving. We're moving.
Can I use Druidcraft to make a area of clean air?
I don't think you can clean it. You can make it smell better, I believe is the limit of Druidcraft.
Well, one of the things is a puff of wind, so like a little poof that just keeps going this way.
The problem is there's no clean air to draw from it. Like you're in an unventilated shaft and you've filled it with ash and smoke.
So
dancing lights, the exit direction.
Okay.
Well, stream of them.
and Stan doesn't say much else, but he has kind of a look of going on autopilot. It's been like can't process stuff yet.
I'm making mental notes, but I'm all focused on.
Everyone's broken except the gnome.
It's still an emergency.
I can fix it.
Compartmentalize. Quick, compartmentalize.
Yeah, I have no problem doing that.
Alright, so you guys flee. Those not holding your breath, still give me another Constitution save.
And
Okay. Stan?
22.
22. Is that 10 with Stan's bonus?
It's a +3 that you get from Stan, being near Stan.
oh,
Yeah, Paladin's Rock.
13.
Stick with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
13.
It is only Stan's radiance, you can tell, that keeps you from getting a lungful of just hot ash smoke. But you manage to keep going. You don't your eyes haven't watered up too much yet. And you reach at the edge of the dancing lights as you're, I assume, just juggling them, like leapfrogging one forward.
Mm-hmm.
You reach the Quicksilver knot falls. In front of you, a wall of elementally charged mercury flowing upward away from the portal that you know to be at the bottom of the mine.
I forgot about this.
That's why you have a GM, to remind you that things are always bad.
I have an idea to get two of us across, but I don't think I can lift Stan.
How did we do this the first time?
Bag
Bag of
holding.
plus
And
dimension
door. But I don't have dimension door. I can't cast it. I got a little dramatic there for a minute, and so she doesn't not able to cast that.
Another Constitution save. Those of you who are not holding your breath, that is to say, speaking.
I went 17.
21.
Okay. You can feel your lungs getting hot. You can feel all of the sensitive tissues in your face are screaming for relief, but you're still shaking it off.
So it's falling upward. Are there any gaps that we can see?
When you checked before, not really. There's this break that was tunneled through, but it's mostly it's just part of a larger flow.
Are there bodies that we can throw on here?
Yeah.
I think we should try that.
There's 2 large hulks right over there where you engaged them.
So Stan points at them and says, I think we should try and stop the flow with those.
You try that, and if not, I might have a backup plan, but let's try that first.
Okay.
Pretty sure I can levitate. Can you levitate a dead body?
Can it target an object? In proper static fashion, I will question your question with a question.
It can. It can, in fact.
Then it can, in fact, lift a body.
All right, so I'm gonna just... So, while Diamond is talking, it's worth saying that Struana is just repeating sort of ad nauseum, we have to get out of here, to where it's sort of becoming a little bit of a mantra, even behind the whatever she's wearing on her thing.
They're going to say it starts to become a little annoying.
Yeah, that too. But it's all, like, monotone. You've never heard her speak so monotone. Except when she was making fun of somebody. So she just, like... It's like normally the magic comes from music, but she's in this weird place where it can come from noise. So she makes it come from the noise to levitate the body. Like, I'm not moving it, it's just levitated now, and just like... So if you weren't watching her or used to being with a caster, it would appear that a body just started floating.
Right. You still manage the somatic component, I believe, which is, generally directional. But is there a weight limit on how much you can pull up?
I know. I'm gonna have to look that up because I only have a little card.
Stan is surprised. He was planning to just chuck him over there like a sack of grain. 500
pounds.
That is enough, actually, for the Hulk. Just barely, and not with any of its, not carrying its weapons. It's certainly enough for the seer.
So, if I'm trying to make it happen on the Hulk, and then it doesn't start moving, like, not any of its weapons, can I take a weapon away from it?
Not with the spell. Yeah, you personally could.
Has rigor mortis set in yet? Because if it hasn't set in yet, I'm removing.
It dropped it like on death. Like it didn't keep hold of the sword.
All right. Well, I'm trying to float a Hulk.
Okay.
So this is the get out of here goal.
Okay. You managed to just lift it a few feet off the ground and drag it like its knuckles are still clattering along the ground, and just toss it and bridge it. Is that the plan?
I hope Stan comes over and helps.
Yes.
Like, as soon as Stan grabs it, I'm just gonna stop holding it and wait. Sorry. So she's not in a functional right now. That fight his flight shorted out. Like,
so this does indeed create a V-shaped hole, like a doorway, and a bridge with a dead giant, well, a dead Hulk as a bridge.
I go across it.
Okay. Can I get a dexterity acrobatics for as everyone goes across? Stan first.
23.
15.
What's the bonus for my spring?
I would say it gives you a jump distance is all, which in this case would cover it. So rather than balancing on the bridge, you just deploy.
Scuttle, 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 boing! Like one of those plungers in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Everybody makes it across all right. The corpse remains there. It's still held. It does. The air on this side is fresh, but smoke is beginning to billow out from the vent you created. It's dark on this side. You whip more lights forward, and at the very edge, you can see this much of a small fey creature with its head poking out of the ground, just like nose up, just looking fervently around. It's one of the Corrid miners. It sort of squints as the lights hit it, come near it, and looks at you. You see its little hand raise up out of the dirt and wave, and give a questioning thumbs up.
Let it burn off. Right? I look at you two. Right?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. I told you what she's doing. She hasn't stopped doing that. Every time we stop moving, there's some rocking.
Out of the cave. Out of the cave. Out of the cave. Out of the cave.
Okay. He sort of gestures and climbs up out of the hole he made. Sort of gestures, runs over to the elevator, and gets ready with the mechanism.
Going up.
All right. Everybody makes it no problem. It's a mad dash out. Struana is strangely in front, so that's unusual. And you are up and out. I should have asked for one last Constitution save.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 20 on that one.
Well done.
I'm not adding
20.
things to it.
And ClickClack and Lovelace were fine. All right, out you go. Up through the shaft. That inky co-located effluence has already begun to fade.
Oh, that's good.
And below you, you see a portal. On the other side is roiling fountains of gems and looks like rocky expanses floating in nothing.
What?
And then you're to the town. Oh, that's the plane of Earth down there.
Okay. That makes sense.
Says the fairy.
No, Struana wouldn't have even really noticed. I just didn't understand what was going on. But
okay. He does make some inquiries, like, is anything following? Anything I need to know?
There was a portal. I think we destroyed it.
Ooh, nasty business. Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Great. You're welcome.
Thomas, is there like a patch of grass or something around here?
Not on the way up. It's you're just in a vertical metal shaft on a grate, and that's when he's chit-chatting.
Oh, sorry. I thought that we were outside. I don't see. That's why I was confused about the plane of Earth, because my brain had already skipped outside.
You said up and out. I thought we were outside.
Not quite out. On the way up, your Corrid friend does check in. He's just wants to make sure he doesn't need to sound an alert or anything like that. But you guys reassure him, and you are out of the hole.
Reassure him as best we can, not having any idea what the hell that was.
So, as you arrive at the top of the shaft, you are met by Chief Abeda and the Chief Foreman, as well as a few armed guards. They see that it's quiet and there are no trouble, and Abeda approaches, like, is it done? In his
Is there grass outside?
Yes.
I'm gonna go find a patch of grass that looks cozy and lay down and just like look at the sky.
It's beautiful.
Yep. No longer we have to get out of here.
I'm gonna just kind of give you a sideways glance.
It was bad.
Looks like a yes.
Possibly. Probably.
It was bad.
Oh. I could help you forget.
No.
All right.
Well, maybe her, but I'm.
There are ways. I'd feel bad if I forced it on her. She'd have to ask.
We'll ask her later.
Good. Good. Meanwhile, you have admirably done more than I've asked. I appreciate it. He takes out the other scissors for the, was it Guidarine, and chops off a lock, wraps it around. If there's more I can do, you've earned it.
I tell him exactly what happened down there. I'm not going to bore the audience with it, but I give him the idea of what just happened down there.
Okay. As you start the story, he'll take you in for like drinks and a meal and have someone bring food out to Struana.
I do not stop talking because I'm trying to get this out.
Okay.
This is me getting the information out as part of my own processing for seeing something that, even for the Feywild, doesn't make any sense.
Right. And you only saw the one side of it. Stan, you've aged 15 years, by the way.
Oh, man.
You have some new gray streaks. Some new... I mean, all of your old injuries also aged 15 years. Do with that as you will. You don't, I mean, you didn't take any stat penalties or anything yet. You're not, you didn't reach that point. I don't believe you were early 20s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you're mid 30s.
You're old.
Yeah. Notices it in his hands first. You know, it's just they look different. Finds a mirror. God, what's happened? You see this?
You've aged.
I don't know what that portal did.
Abada listens politely, but he is clearly out of his depth.
It aged you.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel old, older, not like ancient. I'm not getting older, am I? Right? I'm not continuing to age. I
Nope.
haven't aged since we. So this is what he's asking them in character.
Oh.
No. Let's say you gained over a decade and then stopped.
Ah.
Which is why I didn't go in the portal. That's past Lovelace's life expectancy.
Yeah. I need a drink.
There's already one in front of you.
Metamucil?
You have the full spread of hospitality. But by the time you're done, ClickClack, this is the first time you realize what Struana must feel like all the time when you tell a story in a room and everybody's listening. You look around and like all of them are clustered around, just like, oh.
Which is interesting because there's nothing poetic in it. There's no analogy, there's no flowery language. This is a industrial pamphlet entry.
They're minors, they can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have time to rest.
Thomas, what would it do to my sanity to try to draw the thing?
What you saw was the giant and the boulette.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the.
It was harvesting things though, right?
It was acting as a portal through which something was wrapping itself in the flesh of that, and even just thinking through what you would have to draw, even that is a little like, how? You could though.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure that it would challenge your sanity.
Well, I would imagine it's hard to describe, and I'm trying to tell them what happened, so this is where diagrams come in.
None of them want to look as you're drawing. It's like, oh, no, that's fine. We get it. We understand.
I fold it up and leave it on the table.
Part of the reason we asked you here was so that I would never have to know.
And you shouldn't have asked me.
Well, thank you for your service. We'll look into making sure that site is cleansed. That will be something kind of long term. We'll handle it. It's our mine. Take your rest, knights. You've earned it. Everything here is on the house.
Thank you.
And what a terrible time to not be able to enjoy things.
What you get for having issues.
Struana, as you're laying on a patch of grass, just staring upward, you glance occasionally one side or the other as you see movement, and at one point when something moves, you realize that it was the landscape, and there is now a road from the outside of the miners' barracks and common room and the little mining camp that's here, all straight down, long, straight, cobbled, easy road. Right next to it is a signpost that says Bloomhaven. It looks a little bit like a painting when you first focus on it, but by the time you look, it's as real as anything else.
So I kind of look back to where my companions are and see what they're doing.
Well, they had been inside. I don't know, Stan, what were you doing? Oh, you grabbed a drink.
Drinking quietly.
I think actually I do too.
Okay.
And a calculated dosage for the crab.
Yep. Someone, one of the Korrid has brought you food, Struana, and is sitting quietly a little ways away, also just staring up at the sky.
Does the food smell good?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's gnomes and dwarves that live and work here on occasion, and they're used to feeding them.
So she sort of sits up, like a little bit woodenly. Like the image in my head looks a lot like how Studio Ghibli stuff.
Right.
Sort of angles, like knees out, grabs the bowl and starts slowly eating it, and then starts crying.
All right.
And then at some point she is just racking sobs.
The miner scoots up close to you and like lays its hair over on you, and it soaks up some tears. It doesn't feel like hair. It feels like woven metal.
I mean, it's a little like her brain's just like, it's not even, you can't add any more to it. We are at capacity. It's like, I can't, it just sloughs off at this point.
Yep. Well, he's being comforting. Like, it's clearly like a comforting gesture.
Damn, she sits there and cries for an awkward amount of time.
Time passes.
That's what Struana does.
You guys see this out the window. This little tableau, sad bard on a grassy knoll.
And understands.
Minutes pass, hours pass. What do you guys do for the evening? How long does Struana stay on the grass?
Until, like, she may move around if it gets, like, super cold on her bum or something. But, like, she doesn't know where to go. Or rather, internally, Struana's saying, I want to go home. And then the other part of her is going, there's no way home. Click your heels. Basically. So she's stuck in this, like, can't do state because the thing she wants to do can't do, so she's not doing.
Pretty soon the sun begins to set. Well, there's not a visible sun, but the light begins to dim in a twilighty sort of way, and the Korrid, who's just been like sitting next to you, clearly assigned to be here, just like stands up and says, "Should we get you to bed?"
Yeah.
Gloomy teen shrug. Getting shrugged. Sorry.
So he just kind of like grabs you by the elbow and leads you along. It stands about half your height. We lead you along to the room where your friends are just sullenly drinking amidst a crowd of like happily murmuring Kored miners through the common room into a room that is medium-sized people, built to accommodate medium-sized people, and sort of like gestures toward a bed. Best thing for it, I think.
So I just sit on the bed.
Great. Shall I go get you a drink to knock you out?
Shrug.
Great.
This poor Corvid, man. Sorry.
I have been this drunk doctor.
I have been this person in a few different realms, drunk not being the only one of them. This is definitely better than the screaming and crying thing.
Comes back with something clear and fizzy. Let's do it.
Just 7-Up.
So it tastes like the way diamonds glitter. And immediately you start to like fall into a dream state really before you be... Well, let's give you a con save.
I rolled a nat 1, so...
You are
what fun
fully
save?
dreaming, but like he lays you down as you've started to already sleep. You have it's out. Like immediately in a dream state.
Okay.
Which is a little redundant since you were awake in the Feywild, so... does anybody else do anything before the end of the day?
Yeah. Stan turns to ClickClack. Like, how much more is this going to cost us? I've lost a quarter of my life, and your home is burned. Hopefully we can fix that, but I just don't know.
I don't have any answers here. Nothing makes sense here. I collect data and the data changes or it doesn't line up. I can't calculate, and I know nothing. I can't plan for anything.
We need to get home.
Great, the feeling is pervasive now.
And Stan takes a final drink, and he hasn't drank nearly as much as he usually does. Although he has, and then he retires. I don't know where there is.
But before you leave,
yeah.
ClickClack's on his bar stool, and he's just sort of staring down at Lovelace. And you realize they've been talking the whole time. He's been clicking with his hand, and she's been clicking with her claw, and they've just been like low-key talking under the bar the whole time. And he just... She's technically from here.
Mm-hmm.
But that was basically a lifetime ago. This is not the life she knows. She knows life with me. This whole time, she feels like this is supposed to feel comfortable, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And she's been trying to help me, but she doesn't know about this place. She just... She's from here, but... I don't know. I don't like what this place is doing to her.
I don't like what it's doing to any of us.
Are we closer than we were yesterday?
I think so. If those rules haven't changed, I think so.
One step at a time.
All right. The only way past it is through it, I guess. The only way out.
Can I just say this is so weird? Okay. I hope there is an audience member out there also kind of freaking out about this. Like, the bard is passed out in the bed, and Stan and ClickClack are having a heart-to-heart while drinking, and Stan is acting mature. And it's just like...
And not hitting on anybody at the bar, and...
Nobody doesn't even feel anymore.
After ClickClack told the story of the adventure.
Oh,
He's
man.
the one sharing his feelings.
Okay. So weird.
I am the bard now. I'm the bard, you're the one that has trouble communicating.
So the common room clears out. Eventually, you guys either decide it's a good idea to go to bed or don't and pass out in the common room. And as dawn breaks the next morning and it's time to probably make the journey back to Bloomhaven, we will take a quick break. Thanks everybody for watching. This is community supported content. If you like what we do, hit like. If you want to see more of it, hit subscribe. If you want to see it get better and spiffier and music and graphics and stuff, hit up our Patreon. Meanwhile, have a good game.